Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to another episode of On the Couch with Creatives. I say good morning because I'm here in the UK, but good afternoon or good evening if you're anywhere else in the world. I'm Melanie Perry.
I'm Julie Hyde-Mew.
And this is On the Couch with Creatives. Fans and followers of the show will know that we're part of the Creatives Group, the private networking group for creative professionals across the globe. Together, we help you create, connect, and grow your creative business. So if that's you and you'd like to join our growing number of networking creative professionals, feel free to contact us after the show. But as I said, this is On the Couch with Creatives. So Julie, who do we have on the couch today?
Today we have an extremely talented woman, Brigitta Scholz-Mastroianni, and she is a model, an actress, or was a model and actress, is now a photographer who takes the most amazing photographs. So let's bring her onto the couch, Melanie. Hello, Brigitta. Thank you for joining us on the couch.
Good morning, and thank you so much for having me and for the warm welcome. So yes, I'm Brigitta Scholz-Mastroianni. Don't even try. It's such an incredible long name that no one can ever spell right. But that's okay with me because I've been a foreigner now in several countries for 40 years. So I've heard all kinds of versions. But that's why most people call me Nux, N-U-X. So short, it's a nickname, and I listen to that. I was born in Bavaria almost 60 years ago. I can't believe it. I'm going to be.
No, we can't believe it either. I mean, you make us look very dowdy and frumpy.
It is incredible. I woke up the other morning and said, I can say now that next year I'm going to be 60. And I tell you, I love it. I'm so proud to be here still, you know. So that's where I was born, and I was trained to be a kindergartner and a medical assistant. And then I was pitched to be a model. Yeah. Which was kind of a destiny moment because I did want to get out of where I was. I'm from a small town in Bavaria, which I tell you what, it's complete Heidi land. It's beautiful there. And now I know because I'm homesick for it and I miss it. But when I was 16, 17, 18, 19, all I thought was, let's get out of here. So I had this opportunity. And then through the modeling, very quickly was sent to Paris, where I was supposed to be for a month, which became 3 months, which became 16 years. I followed my very, very first passion, which when I was 15, I was in a nun's school, and the nuns actually put me on the stage. And they made me play The Little Prince by Saint-Exupéry. And I discovered that that's where my magic was because people just loved it. It was a surprise, but so in Paris, once I spoke the language, I thought, and casting directors as well, because as a model, you visit 1,000 castings and go-sees, and so I got friendly with them, and they said to me, "What are you doing? You're an actress. You're not just a model. Go to an acting school and study acting." And it was my first passion because I was in a nun school. I was educated by nuns who I love. By the way, I love nuns. And they put me on the stage in The Little Prince by Saint-Exupéry. And people loved it. So I found my magic there, a sense in life, if you wish. And my mother didn't want me to become an actress. That's why I became a kindergartner and a medical assistant. But then in Paris, I thought, okay, they're all thinking I still have the magic, so let's try. But back then, it was the time when the film Nikita by Luc Besson came out. And I said, if I study acting, it's with the guy who trained Anne Parillo. So I was a big fan of Anne Parillo and the work of Pascal Luneau, who ran the Studio Pygmalion. But I thought, I'm a model. What does he want with me? And I'm German and I have an accent. He will never accept me. And one of my casting director friends says, "Oh, Pascal, here's my friend, let me arrange a lunch. So next thing I knew, I was talking to Pascal Luneau, and he took me on, and I studied with him for 3 years. And from that point on, I still did a little bit of modeling because it was good money, and especially in advertisement, commercials were good. But like I said, I went on the stage. I did a massive amount of short films, some feature movies, voiceovers, anything an actress can do. And yes, I'm always being asked that question for some reason. But no, I did not do porn ever. No.
People ask you that.
I don't know.
Because you're incredibly sexy, Brigitta. That's what it is.
Yes, yeah, but still, it's so rude.
It is, isn't it? But it's in people's minds, obviously, that as an actress, that is one of the things you might be doing. So, but no porn, ever, no.
And
not even in voiceovers.
Your life took another turn, didn't it?
Yes, it did, and also they sent me then to I think you call it elocution lessons.
Elocution lessons.
Elocution lessons. So my French would be better. So I would speak French still with an accent, but no one would know which accent it was. So whenever there was a part to play the woman with accent, I was right in. It was awesome. It was really good. And then eventually, in the world of acting in France back then, they said, you have to go and study what they do in the land of Shakespeare. And so I visited for one weekend, I visited London and saw 2 plays, to an incredible place. One was about Richard Burton and the other one was about Zelda Fitzgerald. Bye Bye Blackbird and Playing Burton. That's what they were called, the plays. And they were produced by a nice man, a friend of a friend, who immediately offered me a drink. And in his memory, I said, no merci, which is of course not true. I just simply declined. I said, no, thank you, because he was the producer of the plays. And I said, oh, no. I'm not getting into anything with a producer, because I had my fair share of Me Too moments back then, when it wasn't a thing, when Me Too was not even a claim for women. It happened all the time. And I actually, thinking back at it, with all my career on TV and because I had a TV show as well, with a travel show, and the approach that men had sometimes was so rude and daring. And I can say very clearly that if I would have slept with one or another person, and I could name names. Oh my God, I would like to name names, but I'm not gonna. I could have gone higher in my career, but that was never my thing, nor my aim, so I didn't. But I'm glad that today we live in an era of Me Too, and we all are speaking out loud, and men don't dare doing that anymore. Even though I find that political correctness has gone a hint too far, it had to go that far for us being heard.
I think that's true, isn't it? Though, that there are, we look back on some things and you think, gosh, how did they get away with that? And you're saying like the Me Too, like the casting couch, I mean, generations coming up behind us probably won't know the term casting couch, but, the casting couch was the term for, if you're not on your back, you're not in the film. And it was absolutely dreadful. And some of these very, very big, directors, producers, people with power and influence absolutely abused it like hell.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that is stopping.
Yeah. And the smaller ones as well, and the filmmakers and actors, and awful, really. And then when you step back from it, sometimes men would look at you like, really? You're not taking my offers? No, I'm not. Bye. Go home to your wife. You know.
And your 6 mistresses.
Exactly, all the others.
No, it's despicable. So how did Guy overcome your reticence?
So the friends I came to London with to see these shows were friendly with Guy. So we all stayed in Guy's cottage here in Hertfordshire for a week, for that weekend, and we talked. He lit the fire, and we talked and about God and the world and spirits and theater and art, and he was a good foot massager.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I think that's probably how he got me. Well, I noticed the next day he took me to the Swan Theater. And is it called the Swan? Yes, the Shakespeare Theater in Help Me, the very famous place.
Are you thinking about the Globe Theatre?
No.
Stratford upon Avon?
Stratford upon Avon.
Oh, right.
It's called the Swan, or is the pub called the Swan?
Both, probably.
Anyway, it was Stratford upon Avon, the proper Shakespeare country. We went into this theater, and he produced a show there as well. And as the minutes went by, I was more and more impressed by him, because what Guy brought together for me, I always looked for real love with a man since I was 14. And let's put it that way, I had a lot of fun with the wrong ones until Guy came. But because most of them are either artists and a total chaos, or they were businessmen and boring as hell, you know. So I never really was with someone. They were all wonderful men, don't get me wrong, wonderful and exciting and good men, but it was never someone I thought I could stay with for life or have maybe babies with. So that was out the window for me. Before I met Guy, I made a decision that I gave up on love and that I was going to focus on my acting career and have many, many lovers.
Lovely.
And then Guy came and proved me wrong, because he was the man who was a proper artist. You met him, you know that.
We love Guy. We all love Guy.
But he also has kind of a business mind on. So everything kind of came together. I was 34 back then, and I thought, and it was funny because we were supposed to be intercontinental lovers. That was clear for both of us, nothing more. And after 3 months, we just had to admit that, nope, actually it was more than that. And we got together and made a baby and married immediately. And that was 24 years ago.
Oh, it was lovely. You're soulmates, you two, aren't you? You were just so gorgeous.
Depends on the moment. Depends on the moment, but yes. Yeah.
But you were about to be cast, weren't you, in a very famous movie?
That's true. Oh my, you mentioned that. I tell you, parallel lives, right? So it was in October 1998. TF1, so the first channel in France, was about to create a trilogy with an actor called François Cluzet, who you all know. He's in a movie called The Untouchables on Netflix at the moment. He's the man in the wheelchair. He is acting royalty. He's, oh my God, I want to marry him too. A few men I would like to marry. So anyway, I was supposed to play, again, they needed a woman with an accent, and I was supposed to play François Cluzet's girlfriend in a trilogy. Oh my God, that would have been it. My face would have been out there, and that would have been the big explosion as a serious actress. Anyway, the first film was shot in New Guinea. Do you say New Guinea in English?
Yeah.
New Guinea. And I needed vaccinations to go there because we were playing scientists. We were scientists in some kind of scientific place in New Guinea. And I was pregnant with indigo. and couldn't have the vaccine. So I lost the part.
Oh,
And I packed up everything in Paris. I said goodbye to my travel show as well, because I had a Me Too moment there, and packed up everything and said, okay, that's it. Then I go to England and I'll be a mother now. About taking risks, you know. I think I took a few crazy risks in my life, and I did that. And came here 6 months pregnant, had to drive on the wrong side of the road. And with my husband already traveling.
How was your
Sorry?
English? Because you were German, and then you said you had to learn French. How was your English at that stage?
It was okay because English was actually my second language. In Germany, we learned it in school, and I learned it even before we learned it in school because my bigger sisters listened to the Beatles. And you know, the albums came with the lyrics, and I translated them by myself. So I spoke English before I even learned it in school. But I think it was messed up a bit through speaking French. I think I have a very weird accent, right?
You have a wonderful accent.
lovely, lovely. So you came to England, you had your babies. What happened then? What's the next installment in the life of Brigitta?
Well, my husband was heavily into, or still is heavily into theater, so he traveled a lot, which made me be a stay-home mom for many, many years. I still went out and did a few commercials and a few modeling jobs. I did that until I was 41 when I had my second child, Tallulah. Um, but it was all a bit, I hated now. Everything I loved before, everything I burned for before had gone out the window, and I hated going on auditions. I mean, actors amongst you and models, you know, they call you at 6 o'clock in the evening and they say, so and so wants to see you tomorrow at 10 and learn A4 page of lines. You must be there dressed like a businesswoman. And you go there and you have a baby in your arm and a child running on, and you go, actually, I don't want to be doing this. And no matter how much money it pays. So I lost my passion for acting there, and then left it with Guy, which is fine, you know. I mean, I like to say that as well, which is interesting with Guy and me. He's the theater man, and I'm the film girl. I always loved film acting much, much more, and much more. I found it much more the technicalities of filming. Melanie, you know that, right? I have a little bit of a passion for that as well.
Yeah, lot to get involved with in film, isn't there?
The magic you can create with film, right? So yeah, so I stopped that, and then I have to say I was a bit depressed for a while because your climate here, mamma mia. And then we were artists, so we didn't have masses of dosh and two little children, well, one 6-year-old and one new baby. And I was sitting here and we were building, lucky that was going on. We were building this 400-year-old cottage. We were lucky enough to scratch some money together to buy this and to renovate it. So we were living in an auntie's garden house with the kids whilst doing that. Guy away all the time, but that kept me occupied. But I had it hard. There was a moment where I was, you know, mothers amongst us, when you raise little ones, there comes this point where you go, okay, I've done this now and this now, and who am I? Where am I? What's what? You have this doubt moment of where is my life going to actually go?
Mm.
And one thing was that all my life, since I was a teenager, I always had a camera with me. Most of the time, a photo camera, but sometimes film as well. But always, and on my jobs, I photographed people behind the camera because I found that a bit more interesting. That's actually a very important ingredient of me, is that I love beautiful people. I think models and actors are wonderful, and they have their place, and they're very easy to be filmed and photographed. but I have a passion for the people, you
Mm.
know, for non-models, if you wish. And I found the people behind the camera often more interesting because the stylist and the makeup artist and the creator of the video and the director, they'd come in and they are not self-conscious. What do I look like? Am I okay? No, they come in with a passion and the hair is up in the air and they either have too much makeup on or no makeup on, and they're all fiery, and that what fascinated me. So I have a great passion for people. And then at that period of my life where I had all doubts, people, my husband, my friend said, "Why don't you start taking photographs?" And I was like, "Man, it was my hobby. Never make your hobby your job." Also, I didn't have the confidence. I didn't know whether my photos were any good or. But I was more and more at ease, pushed into it in the beginning. Then I asked for £20 for a photo shoot. And
Wow.
people would walk away with hundreds of pictures. And at some point, and this was probably an important moment, local photographers got onto me and they told me off. And they said, "You can't do that. You're hurting the trade. Either you stop or you make it a business." I was like, "Me? What? No." I was really, really self-conscious about that. I didn't see myself as a businesswoman, and I didn't know what actually I was doing. Yes, I took good pictures because obviously I had learned from the best. Whenever I was in a photo studio, and I needed to know something, the photographers were delighted to teach me because, oh my God, there's a model interested in actual photography. Let me show you how it works. And of course, you learn about lights and technicalities. And then, so you have a sense for it. You get a sense for it to make it look good, to make people look good. And that became my passion, to show normal people how beautiful they actually are if they are photographed from the right angle and in the right light.
Mhm.
And so Nook's photography came to be, to
Thank
live.
goodness. Thank goodness.
Now
thank
you're going to
goodness.
tell us how the name Nooks came about. And I don't know if you've heard the story before, Melanie, but it's very funny.
Oh la la, you really want to know that?
I want to know.
Yes.
Okay. It goes. Okay. So I was born in Bavaria, as I said. I was born at home on a table, and my sisters were 7 and 9 years old back then, and I was 10 minutes old when my 7-year-old sister came up to me. My mama introduced me, and my sister would say, "Oh, nookie, 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 nookie," because that is a term of endearment in Bavaria. That's what we say when we think something is really cute. Nookie, nookie, nookie. And so I happily ever after lived with that nickname, Nookie, which I had since I was 10 minutes old, and everyone called me Nookie. And in France, in Paris, everyone called me Nookie. Well, friends would call me, professionals, Brigitta, whatever you wanted. But Nookie, my friends called me Nookie. And by that time, of course, I had encountered a few Brits and American people who told me, "You can't say that." And since then, I forever had to explain that it's not Nuukie, it's Nucki. Completely different, right? However, then Guy said, "I can't introduce you to my mom as Nookie. I want to call you Nookie, but I can't do that." So Guy invented Nooks. And I said, "Okay, I can live with that. Nooks is cool." So my friends would call me Nooks. Some still call me Nookie. They dare. Some Brits are very daring. Some.
I love that. I love that. I really do. Yes, but my nickname, my family name is Poppy, which is how Poppy Perry Media came about. But the story is not quite as charming as yours. Mine came about is that my dad, when my dad used to come home from work, my mum used to also greet him on the doorstep with me in her arms, newborn baby. And my dad always used to come in and say, "Watcha, Popeye?" And Popeye, obviously, like Popeye the Sailor Man, because I used to squint at it.
Popeye suits you better than Poppy.
So he said, "Watch a Popeye," because I was obviously newborn babes, they sort of squint, don't they? And that's obviously what I reminded him of, the cartoon character. And thankfully, Popeye morphed into Poppy as time went on. So that was my family name. I was always called Poppy or Pops or Popsy. Yeah.
Is that because as a little baby you couldn't say Popeye and you went Poppy?
I just look like him, I think, as a baby.
It's very cute. I can see you as Poppy. I shall call you that from now onwards.
Yeah.
So you named your photographic business Nooks.
Yeah, easy, right? Or shall I call it Brigitta Scholz-Mastroianni? It's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Nooks, at least. People here say Nux, which I can live with as well. But it's easy. 3 letters, at least you can remember it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And what kind of photographs do you take, Brigitta? Because I know you have a speciality.
So in the whole process of becoming a professional photographer and making it a business, a very good friend watched me and she said, "Nooks, you don't just take photographs. This is different here." Because people would come to you very self-conscious, and almost everybody, I would say 19 out of 20 people would say, "Tell me what to do, but I don't want to smile, but I'm not photogenic. I'm old, I'm a bit tired, my hair isn't quite right at the moment," and doubtful, full of doubts and full of tension. And then we would do the shoot, la 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 la, and then they hop out the studio like and with a bunch of good photographs in their hand as well. And my friend said, "You do something else to people. You do photographic therapy." And I went, "What?" So for a little while, I investigated what she was talking about, and it's true. There is something that happens, and I guess it's my life story who made that. No matter who comes in here, leaves with more than photographs. There is a confidence boost that really comes from my heart, from my soul. It's one of the missions, beside raising my kids in my life, is to raise, in particular, women's confidence, men as well, but women, because we are the ones who beat ourselves up over anything, right? Anything that's right might be wrong, we'll latch on to that instead of thinking, "Oh, look, I've got a beautiful mouth. Oh, look, my eyebrows are so nice." No, women put themselves down. So one of my missions is to connect with each person who comes through this door 100% and give them that hint of magic, which looks different each time because everyone is individual, right? And make sure they leave with that extra magic and possibly in love with themselves again, a bit more. And not just for now, but forever. So I know this is big what I'm saying, but that's my mission, and it's happening, and the feedback I get proves it. I guess it's a big question of trust.
Yeah. No, but I think that's a beautiful, beautiful mission to have. So, Brigitta, what would your 3 top tips be if, talking to women out there who've maybe had children and have parked their careers, whatever they may be, who are thinking, I want to get myself back and maybe I want to try doing something different or starting my own business, either as a photographer or something else. What top 3 tips would you give?
I made note. So let me have a look at that. I thought it was about photography, but I guess
It could be, or could be about
this
anything.
works. I guess this works for any business and any talent a woman might have. So the number one thing is persistence. Whatever it is you're doing, don't give up. Keep on going, keep on going, keep on going, keep on going. It will take not only 1 year, maybe 2, maybe 3. If you're lucky, it goes quicker, but you need to persist and deliver, deliver, deliver. Stick with it. Don't let yourself be knocked down by failure, because it means nothing. Failure means nothing. Get back in the saddle and go again, continue. That would be one. Oh God, yeah, the next one I wrote down. Actually, I wrote a few down, if I may. The next one would be, unfortunately, you have to embrace media or multimedia. May it be Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, or the one you like, Melanie. What's it called? TikTok?
I don't like it. I keep forgetting about TikTok. That's the problem. I'm on it because people tell me I've got to be on it, but I keep forgetting about it. So it's very, if anybody checks out the Creatives TikTok page, it is rather sporadic and random. So I warn you now.
Yeah.
That's on LinkedIn. It's a much better experience.
There you go. We're all, and when I started, my kids, they were now teenagers. They taught me Instagram because, pardon me, because the thing is, it's free advertisement. You must dare to say, hello, I'm here. This is what I do. Hello, I'm here. This is what I do. And it will get on your own nerves because you think, oh God, what am I doing? This is too much. But it's like advertisement. You need to think of advertisement. We see the same commercial over and over and over again. And eventually we might buy the product if we need it. This is the same. You need to be omnipresent all the time, gentle and kind, and therefore embrace the media, which is, again, I'm repeating myself, free advertisement. And you can do it. No matter how old you are, no matter how much you hate it, there are simple versions to use Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. I'm not going to go to TikTok because there's
so many. You're right. There's so many. And it's music to my ears to hear you say that, because I say it a lot in my realm of video marketing. Is people say, oh, but I hate this, I hate that, I hate the other. I said, then you are going to fail. I can't sugar the pill any more than that. In today's society, everybody does business pretty much on their phones. We're all seeing people scrolling and tapping their phones or whatever. And whether you choose to be, if you've got a business, whether you're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn, wherever it is, and you don't have to choose all of them, but you need to choose at least one and do that really, really well. Because if you're going to say, oh, I can't do this, I can't go on social media, then you may as well pack up and go home.
Absolutely. And if you want any advice, go into Melanie's workshops, because Melanie knows everything about this, and you don't have, she takes the scare out of that subject. You can do it. There are simple ways, right, Melanie?
Very simple. And there's nothing to be frightened of. There really isn't. And a lot of people say, oh, I don't know how to start. And my biggest bit of advice, if I'm doing the top tip, the biggest thing is just to start. Once you've done that first one, that first video, that first whatever it is, everything else gets so much easier. It's always the first step is always the scariest.
Don't strive for perfection, because you're not going to get it. And you know what? People love that because it's authentic. Go fail. Go be you. It's amazing. Just do it. Go and stutter. Go and get your light wrong to begin with. Go in lives, the lives. Oh my God, where do I start this? Oh, where do I stop this? All my videos still start and stop like, huh? What am I doing?
Get a remote control, Brigitta.
No.
Okay, what's your next tip?
The next tip would be, okay, so the next tip would be they're investing. You're not going to make a lot of money to begin with, but you do need the right equipment. It will make you feel confident to have the equipment, and it will make your client feel confident with you when he sees you have the right equipment. So they're investing, you will make the money back. Also invest into networking, real people. I mean, the media is very, very good to get your face out there, but real people, organic people, if they meet you, and they then pass on the message, oh, I know this woman, she can do this or that, whatever it is you do, go networking and do it with kindness. And another thing, oh yes, a big one for me, and that might not work for everyone, but it is break rules. In particular in photography. Oh my God, if you go and study photography at college or whatever, you are fed a million rules. Go break them all. That will make you, make you be free.
And if you're doing photography or anything creative, I think that's a brilliant rule, and I'm the same. Experiment, dare to experiment, because you might come up with a new process or a new way of doing things that is absolutely fabulous by accident. You know, you don't have to conform. You know, conformity kills creativity.
Yep.
There's a thing.
Totally.
I'm going to do a post on that later. But you know, you have to be free to experiment. And as you say, we are living in an age now where we're not so stuffy as we used to be. And LinkedIn, for example, is a prime example. It used to be full of very suits business types, and there was a way to behave, and it was all very corporate, and it was all, you know, Now, since COVID especially, the shackles have come off, the barriers have come down, and people are really much more interested in seeing real people. So you don't have to worry about getting it wrong or tripping over your words or something that's not, you know, BBC production quality. You know, people don't want to see that on social media. They actually don't want to see it. And if it's too perfect, people probably switch off nowadays.
Yeah.
You know, they have the telly for that, but social media needs to be authentic and raw.
And the youngsters, they work different as well. Be inspired by the youngsters. Like, for example, at the moment, I keep on seeing photographs where you actually see the outline of, wait, I show you, like this, the outline of the backdrop. You would see this.
Yeah.
Or the other side. And the model would sit right in front of it, right? But imperfection, embrace imperfection. Imperfection is magic. Perfection is boring. And can I say something about LinkedIn?
Go on then. Yeah. As long as it's nice.
Oh, you can cut it shorter anyway, right? You can cut. So talking about LinkedIn, I was a bit bored with it, right? Like you said, mentioned earlier, it can be a bit business, corporate, blah, 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 blah. And I thought, I need to shake this up a bit, jazz it up a bit. And I came up with a project. So to begin with, it was only me. And now there's over 20 of us. I have a project called Dressed with a Smile, and it's corporates, professionals in the nude.
Oh, I saw that actually. Yeah.
It's so cool. Now, don't expect boobies or anything into the lens. That's not going to happen. It's suggested nudity. But so that's happening. And first it was a small project, and now it's actually going into an exhibition. Can I say where and when?
Yeah.
Yes, please
so
do.
It's in the Camden Image Gallery in Camden, London, from the 16th to the 27th of May. The exhibition is with 11 other artists, amazing people. It's called Identity. And this is taken off. So the message is, use your face in business and in life. Be kind, be open, be ready. And here comes the biggie, be experienced. Therefore, age, for once, is being celebrated out loud. The more wrinkles you have, the older you look, the more confidence you will call in other people.
I love it. Good. Me and my wrinkles.
Oh.
So you've obviously turned the conservative, old-fashioned way of taking business business photos, you know, the head and shoulder shot for the website and for brochures and things like that. You just turn it around. Do they put these naked photos onto their website?
They won't. They applied, so therefore they gave me permission to use it. I don't know. I have one lady who is a women's confident person. She will totally. Actually, she got her whole. I only shot people to here and men a bit lower, but she says, eventually I have to come to you and have a whole naked shoot. And I said, well, we've got 45 minutes. You want to do it now? And whoosh, off was the clothes. And yeah, so she's going to use it for her website, which is a great honor for me. But in general, branding shoots with me, I don't think they're normal because we always laugh. And
well, yeah, your shots of business with men and women, corporate people are just so different from the norm. So people can go and have a look at your work on your website.
Yes, please.
What's your website? Tell us.
It's www.nuxphotography.com. And on Instagram, it's nux.photography. I would love to see you there. If you want to follow me, that would be my honor.
Perfect. We will.
But not on TikTok.
No. Maybe when I'm 70, I start TikTok.
Yeah, throw it out a bit when you hit that milestone. Right now, Melanie, I don't know if Melanie told you, Brigitta, but we play a game at the end of any On the Couch. And what it does, it makes you think about things in a very different way. So Melanie will ask you to choose a card, and then she will give you a value and then ask you questions about the value or a question. And then whatever comes out of your mouth, don't even think about it. Even if it sounds incredibly ridiculous, just say.
First thing that comes into your head. Yeah, first thing that comes into your head. This is what we always say. This is the On the Couch part of On the Couch. This is where we get deep into your psyche. Okay, so I'm just going to run my finger along the cards, and you just say stop when you want me to pick a card.
Stop.
Right at the end. Right, what have we got? Oh, this is a really good one for you, Brigitta. You and Guy, actually, both of you. This is what I think about when I think of both of you. Your value is love.
I was just going to say love, and there we
go. Love.
Yes.
And obviously, because we're creatives, we're going to ask you creatively about love. So, Brigitta, love.
Mm-hmm.
What does love mean to you? What does it look, feel, and sound like?
Love is a butterfly. Because love is free. You can't force it. If you have a butterfly coming to sit in your hand, you admire it and it's beautiful and you want to keep it because this moment is so precious. Now you've got a choice. You can either go, oh, but what happens to love? It's not free anymore. You open it and it's crushed. If you let it go, you've got a good chance that it comes back again. And that's what it feels like. It's like happiness. It's not a steady, constant feeling. It's free. It comes and it goes. And it is in itself unconditional.
Love that. I've got a bit goosebumpy now. That's lovely. Yeah, I've got all gooey. What does it sound like?
Like a Prince song, like a Prince ballad.
Fabulous. What does it smell like?
Lemongrass.
Oh, yes. Yes, I love that smell. Oh, gosh. Oh, I do. I feel quite emotional. I've got little tears in my eyes. Butterflies and lemongrass.
Oh, can I say something else? I think it can also sound like the sound of a blackbird when a blackbird sings.
Oh, yes.
I love that so much.
Yeah, I do. I love that.
Thank you for feeling me, Melanie.
Yeah, I do. Oh, I'm feeling quite emotional. On that note,
You've been a delight. You've been a delight to be on the couch with us, Brigitta or Nook. Really, it's been such a pleasure talking to you, and we wish you all the best for your forthcoming exhibition. And obviously, anybody who wants to see more of her work, visit her website, and hopefully we'll see you again.
Oh, thank you so much for all the attention. It's been a while that someone paid so much attention to little me. Thank you. And you guys are awesome. I can't wait to see you again. Thank you so much for having me, and all the best to all the kind people out there.
Oh, well, thank you for joining us on the couch, and to our beautiful audience, thank you for joining us too. And if you'd like to find out more about our Creatives Network, the network for professional creative people in the creative industries, no matter where you are, no matter what creative industry you're in, if you're an innovator, if you're a creative, we would love to hear from you. But that's all we've got time for today. So until next time, we'll see you